Hey, 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 what's up, y'all? It's your girl Leah M40. Welcome back to another episode of the Women Behind the Courage Couture Gala. I'm so excited to bring another one of my incredible team members, my sis, the brains behind the operation alongside me, the financial person, the one that is making sure that I am staying according to budget. Because if I don't, she gonna cuss me out. But
Yeah, you gotta stay, gotta do
I
it.
got my girl Victoria E. Henderson in the building. What's going on, sis?
Hey, sis, hey, I'm here. Woohoo! How
Listen, I'm
you?
I'm good. I'm so excited that you are here. So please
Thank
tell the people a
you.
little bit about yourself.
Well, let's see, what can we tell the people? Again, my name is Victoria E. Henderson. I like to say that I am joy. I no longer
Mm-hmm.
describe myself by the things that I do. I am an
Yeah.
author. I am a podcast show host. I am a mother. I'm a wife. I'm all these things. I'm not a wife anymore. Um, I'm an ex-wife. And all these list
Correction.
things,
Right.
we usually list the things that we do, but we
Yeah.
don't say who we are. And they say, well, tell something about yourself or introduce yourself. I show up as joy. When I show up,
Mm,
a light comes in the room.
yeah.
And because I am joy, peace, and love. And that's what I want to experience in my life. And that's what I want people who come in contact with me to come away with, that they have experienced peace, love, and joy in my presence. So that's who I
Yes.
am.
I love that. I love that. And
Mhm.
you're 1,000% right. Like we
Yeah.
lead with the accolades, we lead with the
Yes.
titles, but
Yes.
that's a part of who we are. That's not
Right.
who we
That's not who
are.
we are.
Yeah, I
I've
love
I've
it.
discovered there is a difference.
There is a difference.
Hmm.
I love that. So to kick off this conversation, I gotta ask, because I've been asking everybody that I've interviewed so far, what inspired you to say yes to being on the team of the Courage Couture Gala?
Oh, that's easy. That's easy. You. You, Leah, the founder. And why I say that, we've been friends over 12 years, and
Mm-hmm.
the full transparency and tell the peoples. We have been friends over 12 years, and I've watched your journey. I have had
Yeah.
the privilege and honor to walk alongside you in some of the things that you have experienced.
Yeah.
I vividly remember when your fiance passed away, how you called me crying and hollering. And you know, as your friend, it was hell. I felt so helpless.
Yeah.
Because I was so far away from you and I couldn't even hold you.
Mm-hmm.
And all I could do was listen. And as I walked alongside you along this journey, I've listened and
Yeah.
watched you grow. I've watched you turn your pain into so much purpose. I've
Mm-hmm.
watched you influence others to do the same. I've watched you mentor people. I've watched you, as you told me, this person told you how much
Yeah.
what you said meant to them when you do your workshops and your
Yeah.
trainings and your conferences. And so when you presented the Courage Couture Gala, which was at first going to be the fashion show,
Mm-hmm.
I was all in. I was like, yes, yes,
Yeah.
this is a cause I could get behind because I know the visionary. I know that this was not a fundraiser just to raise money to buy you a new car.
Right.
I knew that this was something that you were trying to do that was going to help people, that was going to inspire people, that was going to create this space for
Yeah.
people to come who are thrivers and survivors of sexual assault and be comfortable because they will feel seen at the end of this gala. And so it was an easy yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
What can I do to help? What can I do to help?
Yeah.
It was a little slow in helping, but I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm all in. I think I just
Yeah.
didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I was kind of stuck with what is it that I can really do. We talk about me helping you with the budget, but you basically got that down.
Yeah.
You've taken this thing off and you've just gone running, and I'm just here to support. And I think
Yeah.
that's what you need.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. And yeah, you've definitely seen me through my journey. And
Hmm.
I know for me, this event was so personal
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
you know what that was like, that season of my life, being sexually
Yeah.
assaulted,
Yes.
not getting any justice,
Right.
having to figure out a different path to justice. And so I was just like, I gotta create a space for people that look like me, but
Yes.
also all survivors, right? Because I
Right.
don't want people to feel like if you're not a person of color, like you couldn't be at this event. It's definitely for all survivors, but particularly people that look like us, because nobody's creating those safe spaces. Nobody
Exactly.
is nobody's
Exactly.
caring about our stories and what we experience. And for me, when God gave me the vision and when he told me to run with this sexual violence work full time,
Hmm.
I knew I was doing it for the people that look like me, because our stories are not being told, or they're being told, but people are profiting off of the story.
Exactly.
I just didn't want
Exactly.
that. So
Right. Right. And you
yeah,
know what? As I look on social media, just to be honest, I really don't see anybody else but us talking about this subject.
yeah,
Nobody else on my timeline
yeah,
talks about this. On TikTok, there is a lady that I'm connected to that she talks about it all the time. So I repost her stuff and you know, really, really look at what she's doing. But she's the only one that
yeah,
I see. And I'm on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram.
yeah.
What else is there to be on?
It's so many.
I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter or X or whatever they call it.
Right.
When
Listen.
they that tomfoolery, they lost me. But
Yeah.
like I said, on Facebook, on Instagram, and TikTok, I don't see anybody else talking about this.
Yeah, because I think it's still a lot of shame, a lot of
Yes.
stigma around sexual violence, especially in Black and Brown communities, right? And
Hmm.
so I think that is why more of us need to be talking about it, right?
Exactly.
Because nobody's really going to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then we are like, I tell people all the time we're programmed to like not believe people of color, not believe survivors. We see what's happening with this Diddy trial. Like they were
Yep.
ready to tear Cassie up,
Right.
and
Right.
she was really being honest about her experiences. So I think that's also why I educate the way I educate, because it's like,
Hmm.
listen, like it's not a one size fit all thing.
Yeah.
And we've been
Yeah.
doing that since the start of this daggone movement 150 years ago, where
Yeah.
we've been doing
Yeah.
very traditional one size fit all. And that's not how this works. It
Exactly.
it
It's
looks
we are
different for
all
everybody.
different. We are
Yeah.
all different and we all have different experiences. Some of it may be similar,
Yeah.
but you don't know how I feel because you're not in my skin. I don't know
Hmm.
how you feel and how it made you feel. It
Yeah.
might be the same thing, but we'll walk away with different feelings. So
Yeah,
it's
a
it's, a,
thousand
it's an
percent.
important topic, and we're gonna keep talking about it even past the gala.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's now my cause as well.
Yeah, for sure. I love it. So I gotta ask you, because you do the finances. You the financial guru over here. Like,
I try to be, but
listen,
some
for
of the other
someone who
peoples are so
manages,
smart.
listen, but you manage money for a living. Like
I
this is what
do.
you do in your
I
day to
do.
day. So when it
Yeah.
comes to putting on events like this gala, right? Like how important is it to budget? How important is it to stay to the budget? Don't go over budget. Like how important is
Right.
that?
Well, coming because this is grassroots. This is truly grassroots. We're doing this from the ground up.
Yeah.
You probably started with the $5 you may have donated yourself. So, that first $5, $10 came out of your pocket. And
Yeah.
again, that's what made me want to partner with this because I know this is you. I know this is your heart. And every dollar counts with
Yeah.
an event like this because we need to pay for the speakers and the venue itself and the gifts that we maybe want to give out. Or you might want to do a plaque to
Yeah.
someone who you just felt really outshine and you just want to recognize them, or you want to recognize all your people on the panel who helped. Whatever you need, it all comes down to money.
Hmm.
Even towards the scholarship that you
Yeah.
you want to do with the excess in order to be able to give that scholarship, it has to have money. Money runs this world,
Yeah.
but we have to be smart about what we're doing. We may want to give everybody a crystal plaque, right? Or
Yeah.
what do they call it? An acrylic
Yeah.
see-through plaque where it has a ball on the top with gold strings. We may want to do that, but is that practical? This is
Hmm.
our first gala. This is our first
Yeah.
one. So we have to watch what we spend, how much we what we do with those dollars to make it count, to make this be so memorable that when we start talking about next year's gala,
Mm-hmm.
they'll be like, yes, we got to go because it was so nice. And you can have nice things on a budget. You really can.
Yeah.
So it's really important that we watch the dollars because we don't want to overextend ourselves in one area so that they were short in another.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I appreciate you and I appreciate Alexis because y'all both have that like financial budgetary mindset.
Hmm.
And this being my first event, first
Yes.
time putting together a budget,
And
like
my
first,
first time being on this kind of panel, a team
yeah,
to help make
yeah.
it happen. So it's a lot
It
first.
It is. And I think it was very, for as a leader, it's been very like eye opening and the importance of like knowing where your money is going and
Yes.
being able to account for it. Like, I literally make sure that every person I've paid, every deposit I've like, I go in and
Mm-hmm.
update that budget and update
Yes.
that tracker because I know you and I know Alexis are watching and y'all
Yeah,
gonna be over
right.
there behind the scenes, like putting it all together on y'all
Yes.
spreadsheets. Like,
Yes.
all right, let's make sure the money's account for.
And so far so good. We're really on track. We just need the peoples. We need
Yeah,
you. We need you to come on alongside us and get your tickets or do a sponsorship or just donate. We just need people to partner with us to see the vision. And I'm glad you're doing videos like this so the people can see who's behind the veil and know that
yeah,
it's real people. We have real stories. Some of us are survivors. Some of us just know people who
yeah,
have been, and so it's near and dear to our heart. But most of all, like I said, it's about you, Leah, and I just cannot wait for
yeah,
the event. I can't wait to get there and to see all of because we've started this a year
yeah.
and
A
some out.
year ago.
And
Yeah,
so knowing that we're getting down to the months, it's in the single months now. It's that
yeah,
level. It is exciting. It is exciting. And I hope that you guys who watch this video can feel the excitement, can feel the
yeah.
joy that I have about
Listen,
knowing I can't wait. I got my hotel room all set. I got my gown already.
listen,
I'm gonna be tight.
listen. It's so crazy because I was like telling Melissa, who, is also on our team, I was like, it's crazy to think that we are 6 months down to the day, like six
Yeah.
months
Yeah.
away. And she was like, wait a minute, six. I was like, yeah, we
Right.
started this September of 2024. Like, it's crazy to think that 6 months has passed and we're
Hmm.
6 months out from this night. So,
Yeah.
speaking of that night, I gotta ask because
What?
everybody got this one part that or parts that they're excited about. What are you the most excited about that night? Like, what are you looking forward to? What are you like? Yo, I can't wait to see how that's gonna play out.
I cannot wait. There's two things I want. I can't wait to just walk into the room. I just
Yeah,
want to be, in the Hamilton play, I want to be in the room where it happens, the room
yeah.
where it happens. I want to walk into the room. I want to see it decorated. I want
Mm-hmm.
to see the people's coming in and go, what?
Yeah, yeah.
I want to see the people sitting at the table enjoying themselves. I want to hear people give you the credit where it's due
Mm,
and say, Tater, you thank you for doing this.
yeah.
I want to see that. I want to also I'm excited about the panel. I'm excited about
Yeah.
the panel that you have the ones who are going to share.
Yeah.
Are they going to share their stories or just
They are.
okay. My dog is barking. I'm sorry. Um, they're going to share their stories, and I'm looking forward to that part because I
Yeah.
think that's going to be a very touching moment
Mm-hmm.
where people are going to be their most vulnerable. And then it's going to strike a chord with people in the audience
Yeah.
who have gone through. And that's when I think at that moment when they talk, they'll know that they are safe. And I
Yeah.
want to uh, be a participant in
Mm-hmm.
feeling, I just got goosebumps. I
Yeah.
want to feel what it feels like to have a room full of people who feel safe and seen
Yeah.
because that's what the gala is about.
Mm-hmm.
It is not about the food. It's not about the mocktails. It's not about
Yeah.
the pictures we're gonna take because we're gonna do all that.
Yeah.
But it is about creating that safe space and that those in attendance who may not have ever been able to tell anybody that they were assaulted or molested or
Yeah.
touched or whatever the case will know that this it's okay. It's okay. And that you can have a life beyond
Yeah.
that. And that is so
Yeah.
powerful and so important. And I feel God all up in it. And so
Listen,
I'm that's what I'm excited
I
about.
know I need waterproof makeup that night because I don't
Right.
know
I
who.
said to myself, what am I gonna do? Because I'll tear up in a minute.
Listen, listen. I know I am. So I'm like, whoever
Yes,
do this face,
exactly. You could thank you for saying that because I'm gonna have to find some too.
yeah,
Hmm.
something. Because
Yeah, because
I feel like that night is gonna be it's gonna be a night for so many reasons. Like, first of all, it's the fact that I got a governor's citation for that night.
yes,
You know what I mean?
yes,
Like,
yes.
it is now the state of Maryland recognizes that day as the day of courage. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
That's
so just
beautiful.
that, and
That
then
is
just
beautiful.
really seeing what we've worked so hard for behind the scenes
Right.
come together, like you said, that experience. And I was telling Alexis, I said, for me, the experience is what matters more to me. When people walk in
Hmm.
that room, do they feel seen? Do they feel heard? Do they feel like, wow, I'm walking away not being alone? Because many
Yes.
survivors
Yes.
go through this experience by themselves.
Yes.
Like,
Right.
so I really want people to walk away intentionally having community. Like, get
Yes.
somebody's number, follow
Yes.
somebody on
The
Instagram,
network.
have,
Yes.
have that
Yes.
opportunity to connect and know that you don't have to go through it by yourself. Like, you can
Right.
literally pick up the phone and call someone, and someone's gonna be there for you. I'm so excited about the panel. It's funny because the panel wasn't originally the idea. The
Exactly.
idea
Exactly. I know
was
it was, but
originally
I'm excited about
one
that.
survivor story. And then
Right.
I sat on it and I thought about it. And then I started thinking about the conference I do for my job. And the survivor panel has always been the one that hit the hardest at our conference. And I was like, oh, just bring that to the gala. And I think what's beautiful about it is that it's intergenerational, because
Oh,
literally
yes.
we have
Yes.
people from different generations that's going to tell their story and tell how they went through. I think what I'm excited about is the fact that majority of the team and everybody that's like speaking from the MC on out are survivors.
Right.
So
That's what I'm
it's
talking about.
literally that room full of survivors, so other survivors can see, like, we are examples of life after. We are
Right.
examples.
Right.
One of the women on the panel, she has her own nonprofit because of what she went through.
Wow.
We got one that wrote a book because of what she went through. So it's like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we're all going to be examples to other survivors who have yet to find that courage yet,
Yes. And I think
to
that is
know that they can
so,
find courage and move forward.
yeah, and that is so empowering. And I
Yeah.
hope that they feel empowered to move forward. And they too can do things like that. You can write
Yeah.
a book, whether you publish it or not, you can write it out.
Yeah.
It's and let somebody else read it and just inspire somebody else. Each one could touch one. And I hope that's the vibe that we're going to give.
Mm-hmm.
That, help somebody else. Help somebody else. Let somebody else know it's all right. I can't touch everybody, but
Yeah.
you can touch the people in your world, and so can everybody else. And it's just like a flame, a
Yeah.
flame, a candle, one candle to the next candle to the next candle, and the light
That's
just fills
it.
up the room. That's what I'm looking forward to. And I
Yeah.
ask God that He will help me see that in that room
Yeah.
of people. Let me see the lights. Let me see a little glimmer of light on top of each person's head.
Yeah, I love
It's
that.
beautiful.
Yeah, because that's what it takes. We all need each other, and we need community, especially after you've gone through something traumatic.
Right.
It's crazy because God has blessed me to really sow into so many survivors. Like, yeah, I'm like, let's sell these tickets, but I literally have had one survivor who never told her story, but literally DM me to tell me her story and what happened to her and how tragic it was. And just God laid it on my heart and was like, so a ticket into her. And I
Wow.
literally told her, I was like, she coming all the way from North Carolina, where you at? And she said,
Wow.
I live in a small town of North Carolina. I never told anybody. I felt safe to tell you. And she's 42 years old. Never talked about it.
Wow. And see, when you introduce her to me, and you tell me this is the lady I was talking to you about from North Carolina, I want to embrace her. And I know you're going to
Yeah.
embrace her when you first meet her. That's the kind of stuff I want to see. Because
Yeah.
that's that light connecting to the light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's
Love
so
it.
many that just go through life never talking about what happened, feeling unseen. I was just like, if I
Yeah.
do anything that night, it is to create the type of experience and
Right.
atmosphere where every survivor in the room walks away saying, I felt seen, I
And
felt heard.
I love the fact that we have the safe room,
Oh,
the
yeah.
I love that, but I'm hoping it won't be necessary to use it. I
Oh, a
really,
1000%.
I'm hoping that it won't. But it'd be just the atmosphere would be so
Yeah.
warm and love would be so abundantly felt that they won't feel it. They may feel a little something, but
Yeah.
they won't be so overwhelmed. But it might happen just
Yeah.
because this is the first time they're really acknowledging that something happened and they feel like they're ready to talk about it. They
Mm-hmm.
may need the room.
Oh yeah,
I
a
love
hundred
that.
percent. And I was very intentional about that, like making
Right.
sure that we had a safe space away from people, right?
Yes.
Making sure that I had therapists on standby. I'm on
Yes.
standby. Melissa's on standby. Chelsea's on standby. We're all the therapists here,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Because in moments like that, when you're hearing people tell their story, you're
Yeah.
hearing those, it can bring up some stuff, right?
Right.
And so
Right.
I wanted it to be discreetly done. So we got a whole form that people can just scan the QR code and be on the tables, fill it out. It gets over to me, Melissa and Chelsea, and we take turns just checking in with folk. But I was intentional about that. Two things that I was extremely intentional about with this event. One, making sure that no survivor ever gets re-traumatized. Like,
Mm-hmm.
even when it comes to our panelists, we made sure to give parameters about what to say, how to say it, the details, all of
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then paying every survivor that speaks on my stage. Like, those
Yeah.
were the
Yeah.
two things that I was intentional about. Now, did any of those survivors ask to be paid? No, but I can't create something like this and not practice what I preach. I
Right.
preach to people all the time. Don't ask a survivor to tell their story and you don't pay them, because then you're just pimping them out like they like this, what they deal with.
Right.
So if you're
Exactly.
gonna stand on my stage at my event, absolutely,
Yeah.
I'm putting something in your pocket.
Right. And that's why it's so important for us to continue to fundraise,
Yep.
to continue to ask people to sponsor,
Yeah.
um, gifts, whatever you can do, donate to whatever level you want to,
Yeah.
or whether you can, and then tell other people about it. Don't
Mm-hmm.
just keep it to yourself. Share it. So that's why
Yeah.
I'm trying to encourage people. Tell somebody else. You may not be able to, but somebody else may, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
then
love
if you
that.
really can't, pray. Because
Whew.
when God's people pray,
Listen.
things happen.
Listen.
And the money will come from the north, south, east, and the west because we prayed and God made it so. So
Listen.
we're gonna have an awesome time. I just see it. I really
Listen.
see it.
I'm excited. I'm beyond excited. As we wrap up, I want you to speak to
Okay. Oh,
someone.
that was quick.
I want you to speak to someone right now who's considering either buying a ticket or donating to the cause or even sponsoring this gala. What would you tell them? What would you say to them about why we need them more than
I,
ever?
I hope that by now, if you've lasted this long through the video, you see the passion that we have behind this. You understand why we feel the way we do
Mm-hmm.
and why this event is so important. It is the first of its kind.
Yep.
It is going to be phenomenal. And don't you want to be partnered with something this phenomenal? This,
Yeah.
if you ever wanted to partner with a group, a nonprofit, or a cause, this is the best one I could think of at this
Mm-hmm.
moment in time. I mean, we got the American Cancer Society, right? We have all the big wing, the Diabetes Foundation. We got all these things that people donate just to, get the tax breaks or whatever. But why not this? Why not
Yeah.
this grassroots organization with Save Me,
Mm-hmm.
who is working, literally working every day. She's working, Leah's working every day to help others who have gone through what she's gone through. She's working every day to help them rebuild their life and reestablish
Yeah.
themselves and find themselves in the midst of the pain. And so a donation to this gala helps her do that. And the
Yep.
scholarship that she's is going to establish from the funds to help survivors. And those dollars are going there. Those
Yeah.
dollars are not going in her pocket. Those dollars are going to go where she says they're going to go. And that's why I think you should partner. Because, people all the time come up with all these things. And a lot of times you pull back the curtain, you find out it's not even real, but this is
Yep.
real. This is real, real people, real stories, real lives that
Yeah.
we're impacting. And that's what I say is the best reason why
Oh
someone
yeah.
should do walk with us because it's real. It's real. We're
Yeah.
impacting people's lives and hoping to change people's lives. And I know it's going to happen. So donate, do what you gotta do to help us. And we say thank you. We thank you in advance
Yeah.
for any donation is not too small. And of course, it's
Mm-hmm.
never too big. So thank you in advance for what you're going to do. It is all good over here.
Listen, 1,000% agree, and I appreciate you saying that because we are living in a time where because of this administration,
Yes.
so many survivors are losing access to resources. We have
Yes.
so many statewide coalitions, national coalitions, either they're closing or they're taking
Mm-hmm.
down their resources out of fear of losing their federal funding.
Yes.
And all that does for me is ignite the fire to keep
Right.
raising funds because somebody's got to
Yes.
get them the resources, somebody's got to get them the connections. It's disheartening. I see it every single day in doing this work, how they double down and are afraid. But what I tell those coalitions and nonprofits is what the message you're sending is you care more about your federal dollars than you care about the lives of those that you're called to serve. And see, for me, I care more about the lives I'm called to serve than any
About the people.
dollar.
It's about the people.
That's what I care
It
about.
is about the people.
A
And I say
thousand
this
percent.
all the time, on my podcast, and I say all of that all the time that if I walk away from the experience, if the people walk away from me and if they watch the podcast, talk to me, whatever, if they walk away and say that something I said or did for them, bless them.
Yeah.
If just one person says it, then I know I've done what God told me to do. And you are definitely walking into what God told you to do. And so I know that He's going to continue to bless you.
Yeah.
And His hand is all over this gala. So I
Listen.
just can't wait. And I'm gonna sit in my seat until you tell me to get out.
You're gonna be there the whole six
You
hours.
know, shoot. It's time to go. But I paid for my ticket. No, I got my ticket. I'm gonna come on in and sit and sup a while.
Listen, I know that's right. Well, before I let you go, sis, you got to tell the people where can they find you, how can they support you, all that good stuff.
Oh, okay. I do have a book out. It's called When I Need a Word, God Speaks. It is an inspirational book. All based on the best of my blog. I have a blog. And it's under my name, victoriaehenderson.com. You could that's where the blog is. If you want to send me an email, vehenderson0818@gmail.com. I also do a show called Living Life Victoriously. We talk about ways to live victoriously and not always, wait for the pie in the sky. How can we help each other now along this journey called
Yes.
life? So it airs on ALH Broadcasting, on Facebook as well as YouTube, and I am on the second and fourth Mondays of each month. And so that's how you can find me and get in touch with me.
Listen, y'all make sure y'all follow my sis. And I thank you for being on this team. I thank you for your yes, because you could have been like, Lee, I got too much stuff to do. but
I
but
could
you
have, but
didn't. And so I appreciate you, sis, seriously.
immediate yes. It wasn't even any hesitation because I just knew this was going to be good.
Listen,
And I still believe that. Even though it
it
changed from
is.
how it was originally, thought, it's still going to be very good. Very good.
Listen, so y'all heard her. Get the tickets, donate, sponsor. The link will be in the description of this episode. And I appreciate you as always, sis.
I love you and I appreciate you too. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. We just thank you. Thank you.